If you're looking to get into short-term rentals and have more than one, it's an absolute must. My name is Niyi Adewole. I am the founder of Ekabo Home, both the real estate and the short-term rental management side. We've been in short-term rentals for a little over 4 years, and we've been a real estate team helping investors for a little over 4 years as well. We host properties throughout Georgia, mostly around the Atlanta metro, but we go as far up as Snellville and as far down as McDonough. So we manage 30 units across about 18 or 19 properties, everything from a 1-bedroom apartment all the way up to a 10,000 square foot mansion. And it's definitely not just me anymore. So now we have a full team of 5, right? Full-time staff, which includes a VA, cleaners, maintenance professional, and then also our operations manager. I first got into hosting short-term rental properties back in 2021, where I did a house hack. I bought a home with an in-law suite. I rented that in-law suite out on Airbnb and saw that I was actually making income from this and said, you know what, this is kind of cool. I want to do a full house. And so from there, I went and bought a full house, started managing that, and the word got out that I was managing different short-term rentals. And so other investors that I was already working with asked if I could manage theirs. And that's how we got started. Now, fast forward to today, it's just started to grow on its own to where word of mouth from people that we're managing right now, as well as clients, have helped us grow. And so we just continuing to expand from there. So we are sitting in the city in the forest short-term rental. And this one is truly impactful because it's literally 3 blocks away from the Southside Atlanta Beltline, which is going to open up in Q1 of next year. And next year we're hosting actually 8 of the World Cup matches. And so we took this property live toward the end of last year with that in mind, to give people an experience of what it's like to be in the city in the forest. And so it's a 5-bed, 4.5 bath. This is one of our luxury short-term rentals where we put a lot of thought and time and effort into making sure that this was going to be an awesome experience. And when you look at the short-term rental game, it's definitely evolved from 2015, 2016. Now you have to come with an intention, come with a design, and really take it to the next level and differentiate yourself from other short-term rentals. And so a couple things we did here is we have arcade in here, right? That's something that's not normal for most short-term rentals. We have a mini putt in the back. We actually put AstroTurf in the back. You can go back there and play like you're going out to Augusta and really get that feel. And then we have nature just surrounding. And so it's pretty cool B&B. This is one that we're proud of, and we're happy to show it off as well. So we try to, as much as possible, automate as much of the touch points as we can with the guest. And I think it helps you to, 1, be consistent with the guest. They love the communication. That's one of the feedback we get, like, hey, they were communicating throughout the whole process. But 2, we also try to handle any issues that arise expediently. So we have people that are on call 24/7 to make sure that they're answering if we do have any issues that pop up. And we try to turn issues into an opportunity to get a 5-star. Because if you do have an issue at a property, but you address it and you over address it and even give, just a different type of service, it can lead to a 5-star review. I had gotten up to about 5 properties that we were managing, and I was still trying to do this solo, and it was getting busy, right? And there was a guest that ended up booking last minute, and I forgot to tell the cleaner at the time, like, hey, I need you to clean this unit because we have a guest that's coming same day. And so because I forgot, that guest checked in and that home was not cleaned, and it was a whole fiasco. So I ended up having to give that person pretty much most of their stay, so we didn't give a bad review. And from there, I started looking for solutions. How can I automatically alert our cleaners and give them access to our calendar that's better than like a Google Calendar? And Hospitable popped up, and that was the reason I made the switch to begin with. So favorite thing about Hospitable is the automation, right? Before Hospitable, it was a lot of manual work and a lot of me trying to, okay, somebody's messaging, let me get back to them really quick in the middle of dinner. Now with Hospitable, it just keeps getting better and better every single week. There's more features that are getting rolled out that just makes the automation process even easier. And so being able to sleep easy at night knowing that I'm not going to miss anything has been the best thing. So the first thing that I noticed was the cleaning, right? So when you talk about being able to keep your cleaners on track and let them know exactly when the next clean is, and oh, by the way, this guest extended, Hospitable has been amazing. And so we've been able to automate all of our cleaners because we have a couple different cleaners that are working these different properties and give them access to that specific property so they can see when the cleaning is live and they get the automatic text messages. That's been the first and most impactful thing that made me join Hospitable to begin with. So my business would be a lot smaller today if I did not have Hospitable, because it would all depend on me and my messaging to try to get back to guests. And you wouldn't be able to sync up even all the calendars from Airbnb to VRBO to Booking.com to Direct. And so it'd be a lot smaller today. It was very easy to set up all of our properties using Hospitable. The thing that I love the most is the fact that you can have a direct site that's pulled from your Airbnb listing. So once you get your listing set up on Airbnb, it's very simple to have it pulled into Hospitable, and then it's just making tweaks along the way for what you want to see with the other properties as well. I would say Hospitable is responsive to all the host feedback. They actually have a portal where you can go in and vote for different features that you're looking to get added. And so I remember way back when I was voting for things like the August lock, back when I was using that, like, hey, let's get this thing added. And a few months later, boom, that August lock was there. And then we switched over to Slage and now that's there. That's one piece. The other piece that we really enjoy is the fact that they have town hall meetings every 2 weeks that you can literally hop on with the CEO, with the marketing directors, and ask questions and learn about what's coming up next. They're really transparent, and that piece has been awesome to partner with. The people at Hospitable is the best part. I've had the opportunity and the pleasure of meeting a lot of the directors and the people that are actually like making the changes here, but it's not just something that's for me managing a bunch of properties. You can literally join a town hall meeting and you're talking to them as well. And so that's been the coolest thing. And the fact that most of the team members at Hospitable actually own short-term rentals. And so they're building a product that they can use, and they're seeing like, hey, we can tweak this, make this better, and actively doing that. So I think the people is the best part of Hospitable. If you can give a consistent experience and respond very quickly, that impacts a guest stay, right? If it takes you an hour to respond to a guest when they have an urgent issue, then they're gonna think, hey, this person doesn't care, or they're not really looking out for me. But if you're able to respond to a question in a minute or less, that's pretty incredible, and they view that as excellent customer service. For example, there's times where a guest will get there and not read any of the manuals that we have on site, and they'll be like, hey, what's the Wi-Fi? And it's 2 a.m. I'm not awake at 2 a.m. Nobody's awake at 2 a.m. And so when they send that and they get an automatic response back, they're just like, thank you so much. I can't believe you got this to me so quickly. And so that impacts the experience. Smart locks are a must on your property. If you want to be the one that's going there every single time to try to change out the code, you're not going to have many properties that you can do. Because imagine the 30 units or so that we manage, if all of them had a checkout and a check-in on the same day, or a new guest booked for that same day, you'd have to go to all these properties and manually change them. Having the smart locks integrated with Hospitable allows us to not worry about the guest being able to get their entry. And even if there's something wrong with like the Wi-Fi on the lock, they have built-in backup codes that they put in when you initially link it in. And so they're able to give a backup code to a guest and allow that guest to check in on time. I am super excited for the future updates. Everybody's talking about AI. This is something that I think every single company is working on, but with Hospitable, we can actively see the updates coming and we can see how it's getting better and better. And pretty soon we're gonna be able to manage this whole experience almost automated, right? And only pop in when we want to kind of spice it up or add a couple things for the guest. But that's the piece that I'm most excited for, because once you can automate that full process, including like the random questions that you get from guests, now we can focus truly on all the other things, the physical things. How do we make the space even more beautiful for the guest? When it comes to property management software, Hospitable is top notch. We would not be where we are today with 30 units under management without this software. And when I've looked at some of the others, even before we made the decision to go with Hospitable, it was because of the way that they're rapidly updating, rapidly adding new features, and allowing us to be able to expand that we went with them. When it comes to running short-term rentals, you need to have property management software. Unless you plan to be up at all times of the night trying to respond to guests at 2 and 3 a.m., you need software like Hospitable to allow you to be more efficient, more professional, and get those 5-star reviews.